Hello, everyone. This guy is the mayor of Barrie, and he has issued a state of emergency due to crime, lawlessness, and out of control homeless encampments. And this problem is affecting many cities across Canada. And I can guarantee you a lot of these cities are going to follow suit to what Barrie has done.
State of emergency is going on right now in Canada that you guys need to know about, and the reasons for it are quite bizarre. In fact, it's something that's been going on for a while across a lot of Canadian cities, and I don't know why it took a city so long to even call it a state of emergency, but the only problem with this state of emergency is that it's going to lend more support from the federal government if they actually respond, which is the most likely scenario. With that being said, let's discuss it in today's video, and this city is Barrie, Ontario. Let's dive into it.
Hello, everyone. This guy is the mayor of Barrie, and he has issued a state of emergency due to crime, lawlessness, and out of control homeless encampments. And this problem is affecting many cities across Canada. And I can guarantee you a lot of these cities are going to follow suit to what Barrie has done. And you might be asking yourself, what is taking these politicians so long to react? Because I could tell you that I saw it coming years ago. I'm pretty sure the people of Barrie have saw it coming years ago. I'm pretty sure the people in the GTA have seen it coming years ago. I'm pretty sure majority of Canadians across Canada has seen this issue years ago. So why is our politician taking so long to address this issue? The eternal question, and the answer: self-preservation. Because you're not going to look at me and tell me that they didn't dial back on purpose. Now, what are these politicians' motivation? I have zero idea. Maybe it's just for talking points. Maybe it's to take credit for fixing a problem that they could have fixed years ago. No idea. And honestly, we are to be blamed because we voted for these politicians. They don't dare to say Canada is broken. And Buddy over here has no plan. Issued a state of emergency, literally with his hand out, begging to the federal government. Now I'm guessing this is now in Mark Carney's hands and his cabinet. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, more government support, probably more government spending in order to fix these problems, which they created themselves. Let's be honest, it's been like 12 years almost under the Liberal regime, and we're seeing it get worse and worse every year. So the mayor said, Barrie residents have had enough. Since day one, I have been clear that encampments are not acceptable in the city of Barrie. The people who live in tents could turn to resources available, he said. If you refuse the help, you cannot stay. In these encampments, our city will not allow lawlessness to take over the city. Now, this lawlessness is mostly due to high housing prices, high rental prices as well. But don't get it twisted, they don't want to fix the housing crisis. It's what's actually fueling everything in Canada right now. Even though prices are going down on homes across the country, it's nowhere near down to where it actually should be based on the average income.
The funniest news articles I've read lately: Canada wants to make homes affordable without crushing prices. In a country with some of the world's most expensive real estate, the government wants housing to become more affordable. But Canada's new housing minister has a message of reassurance for the nation's homeowners. It also doesn't want to drive down prices. See, so they want you to pay less for housing, but they also don't want it to cost less. Problem solved. You know, a while ago on Reddit, this guy said he wanted me to be the new housing minister. And I said, thanks, but there's no way I'm getting into federal politics. But maybe I should be the housing minister. It doesn't really seem that hard. Apparently, all you need to do is say complete nonsense with a straight face, and I'm already good at that. Here, check this out. So basically what we have here are two groups of folks. They're good, hard-working Canadians, many of whom have families, but these two groups have diametrically opposing interests. One group wants the price of housing to go down, and the other group wants the price of housing to go up. And the government is committed to making sure that both of these groups get exactly what they want at the same time, and we have a plan in place to achieve that. Are you shitting me, dude? That's all I need to do and I can make $290,000 a year? That's fair. I told you that KD Lang was a 1990s Kraft Dinner mascot played by Bob Dylan for free. Alright, that's it. I'm doing it. I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Vote for me whenever the next election is. And if anyone knows where the sign-up sheet is for federal government, please DM me.
That was Millennial Moron. You guys should check out his stuff. I think he also has a YouTube channel as well and a TikTok. He does great videos talking about how bad the housing crisis is in Canada, and he actually compares literal European castles to rundown shacks in places like Vancouver, BC, and other places like Ontario. Obviously, Ontario and BC have the worst housing crisis in all of Canada, those two provinces. So it's not a surprise to see the first state of emergency due to lawlessness and homelessness being called in a province like Ontario, because it is one of the worst provinces for the housing crisis.
Guys, I hate to say it, but we as Canadians, we're kind of dumb. So, state of emergencies are being declared over homelessness, drug use, and crime. And instead of people realizing that part of the reason why we're having all these issues is the government needs more tax revenue because it is the largest employer, and also our government is too large. Instead of people calling for the government to be reduced in size and to do less services, to require less from us so we pay less taxes so people don't have to be pushed out of house and home, among other things, you know what people are calling for? The government needs to do something to address the housing, crime, and just, we're not that smart. The problem is our government is too big. It's too large, it requires too many resources, which is why we have to pay so much in taxes, which is why we're stuck. We're dumb.
And it's a pretty difficult problem to solve. I know you could reduce the government and it might actually solve the problem, but it wouldn't be that immediate. It would take very, very long for that to happen. Another way you could crash the housing market, which is in some ways desperately needed, is obviously limit the amount of immigration, build a lot more homes so you increase the supply, and also wages have to go up. I don't know if increasing the minimum wage is going to do that. I remember the last time there was a massive jump in minimum wage when I was in Ontario. Literally, stores around me were literally marking off the prices of the stuff that they had on like a menu at even Taco Bell, and they would put in with marker the new price. So if stuff like that happens, then it's probably not the easy fix that people might think it's going to be, but there's other ways you can address that as well.
What the hell? When did gas prices jump to $1.81.9 here in British Columbia? Can anybody tell me what the hell is going on? I mean, I don't know much about politics, but I remember people saying that gas prices would stay like lower for a bit and then they would jump. So is this the jump that they've been talking about? $1.81? What the hell is with that?
And gas prices all over Canada have been on the rise. There was a little bit of a drop for a bit, like she stated, but it definitely has been rising ever since. I know for us, like sometimes we don't even want to, we'll like delay it a day or two and just pray that the gas prices will be a little lower and then we don't use up all the fuel in our car. But it definitely has become massively stressful for us as well here, even in Alberta, which is one of the places where all of the gas comes from in Canada. Go figure. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope you learned something from today's video. And if you did, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.